Top 100 Scary SCPs.
Item number SCP-2118. Object Class Safe. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-2118 is currently contained in a standard humanoid holding cell observed at all times by standard motion-activated security cameras. Cell is to be furnished with appropriate furnishings for a 2-year-old child, along with 2 stuffed animals, an orca whale and an elephant. SCP-2118 may go to an outdoor enclosure once a day for a length not to exceed 1 hour between the hours of 0900 and 1700. It is to be accompanied by at least 1 attendant who has never had children and is versed in American Sign Language and its translation etiquette and usage. SCP-2118 is not to be allowed verbal access to any other personnel except within approved testing parameters. Description: SCP-2118 is a human female aged with orange hair and light grey eyes. It has a scar on its right cheek, 9 cm long, in the shape of an open parenthesis. SCP-2118 claims it received the scar several years ago when it was struck by a stranger on the street, but is reluctant to elaborate further. SCP-2118 communicates primarily through ASL and occasionally through writing, though it is capable of producing coherent speech. The anomalous properties of SCP-2118 manifest when it is exposed to a parent who has, at some point in their life, dealt with the death of their child. In these instances, SCP-2118 begins to speak in a voice inconsistent with what its own should sound like, instead reflecting the age and gender of the aforementioned deceased child, or after referred to as SCP-2118-01, a time of death. SCP-2118 is aware of its speech and vocal patterns as well as the psychological distress they cause the parent, signing various apologies and platitudes even as it continues speaking. Testing has indicated that SCP-2118-01 must have been prepubescent under the age of 18 at time of death. Further testing indicated it is not the biological age but the legal age by which SCP-2118-01 defines a child. Typically, the words and sounds SCP-2118 mimics are consistent with the final words/sounds of SCP-2118-01. It is uncertain at this point how SCP-2118 accurately mimics the sounds of drowning, asphyxiation, or the formation of blisters in the throat cavity. Of note is that SCP-2118's face maintains a look of contrition while said sounds are being mimicked, despite the occasionally violent nature of SCP-2118-01's death. Interview number 1. Interviewed. SCP-2118, Dr. Danvers translating. Interviewer. Doctors Lavoie and Wu. Forward. Initial interview from Dr. Lavoie, psychologist, and Dr. Wu, SCP-2118's primary researcher. Begin log.
Good morning, SCP-2118.
That's not my name. My name is...
For all intents and purposes, you are now SCP-2118. Do you understand where you are?
Some kind of science lab.
Yes. Do you understand why you're here?
I did something bad.
Why do you think you did something bad?
Because whenever I talk, people get mad. Is this because of the lady who hit me with her purse? I'm sorry, can I go home? Get on with it, Lavoie.
Yes, all right. SCP-2118. This is your home now. We're here to study you and see why it makes people angry when you talk.
It's because I sound like their baby.
I'm sorry?
That's what my mom said. When I talk, I sound like their baby, and that makes them sad and angry. I'm sorry, I don't mean it.
SCP...
I glued my mouth shut once, but I had to go to the hospital when it wouldn't come back open. Do you guys have glue? Special glue?
We're not going to glue your mouth shut.
Did I make you mad? I'm sorry, please don't stop talking to me. Can we stop there?
End log. Interview 2118-09. Interviewed SCP-2118. Miss translating. Interviewer Doctors Lavoie and Wu forward. Interview with D3498, a 27-year-old Caucasian male convicted of the second-degree murder of his wife and 3-year-old daughter. Begin log. D3498 enters. SCP-2118 begins trembling as D3498 sits. SCP-2118 does not speak for 35 seconds.
SCP-2118, are you...
I'm sorry for what I'm about to do.
SCP-2118 abruptly begins to scream 121 decibels in a high-pitched voice, presumably belonging to SCP-2118-01, sustained for 5 seconds.
Daddy, I'm sorry, I don't mean it, I'm sorry.
What the fuck is this?
D-3498 has grown visibly distressed and stands to leave. SCP-2118's voice cuts off and is replaced by gurgling and physical throat depressions, consistent with clawing at throat for breath. D-3498 begins to fight against his restraints, and when that does not work, turns on SCP-2118.
You bitch, shut up. That's not your voice. That's not your voice.
D-3498 throws himself against his restraints at SCP-2118, and Agents M. and S. called in, removing D-3498 for termination.
Thank you, SCP-2118. You will be returned to your cell now.
Mama?
SCP-2118's voice has changed to that of a young boy, approximately 8 years old. Agent M. assisting Agent S. and is instead staring at SCP-2118.
Mama, I'm cold. My chest hurts, my fingers hurt too. Why?
Can you tell me whose voice that is?
SCP-2118 does not verbally or physically answer, instead staring at Agent M.
I'm so cold. Mama, where are you? Where did you go? Mama, how could you?
Get out. Get out now.
Sounds of a small scuffle. SCP-2118 crying, 25 decibels. A door is heard slamming. End log.
Closing statement. Agent removed pending police investigation. Dr. Wu.
Interview 2118-12. Interviewed SCP-2118. Interviewer Researcher Ansel Min. Forward. Unsanctioned interview between SCP-2118 and Researcher Anselman captured on video. Researcher Anselman is not assigned to this SCP. Begin log. At 23:45, motion-activated security camera 72 detects Researcher Anselman approaching the glass at the front of SCP-2118 cell. Researcher Anselman watches SCP-2118 sleep for a moment, then begins tapping on the glass. SCP-2118 remains asleep for 96 seconds, only waking when Researcher Anselman begins knocking on the glass.
SCP-2118. SCP-2118, wake up.
You're not supposed to be here. Dad, why are you making me do this?
Dewey?
I'm scared, Dad.
Don't be. You're manifesting in the voice of SCP-2118.
What happens after we die? No, I know, but I thought you might have some ideas. What with your job and all? Did you think you could really talk to him?
Dewey, you're gone. You're supposed to know what happens after we...
It's okay, Dad. It really is. I love you. He's dead. They're all dead. I can't be him for you. I can't be anyone.
I'm sorry I couldn't help you sooner.
I hate it here. I hate it here. Dad, I can't help you.
Come on, Anselman. You know better than this.
I know. I'm sorry.
Haven't you asked seen Pet Cemetery? You remember that famous line, sometime, death is better? If you asked me, we need more personnel with sociopathic tendencies employed to work directly with these subjects. There's not supposed to be any crying in football, you wanks. Comment cold-hearted if you made it this far. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, and stay tuned for the next one. I'll see you later. Bye.